Tashdile and welcome to Tibet This Week. This is Sakina Bhatt with another edition of Weekly News on Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Central Tibetan Administration. Let's look at the headlines first. His Holiness the Dalai Lama gives one-day teachings for Tibetan youth. His Holiness the Dalai Lama talks to students from Emory University. Every Tibetan's role in combating China's influence. CTA President at New Jersey and New York Phuntsog Deshe inauguration. Representative Ngotub Tsering attends Taiwan International Religious Freedom Forum chaired by Taiwan President. Tibetans in Taiwan commemorate 1989 Tiananmen Square massacre. Silver Jubilee of Gyalum Chenmo Memorial Gold Cup football tournament kicks off in Dharamshala. His Holiness the Dalai Lama gave one-day teaching on Gyaltse Thogme Sangpo's 37 practices of a Bodhisattva for Tibetan youth at Dharamshala on Monday this week. His Holiness emphasized on the importance of Tibetan language and expressed his enthusiasm towards the ancient Nalanda masters and scholars. Other topics covered by His Holiness were three wheels of Dharma, objective of clear light, importance of studying Tibetan Buddhism through logic, reason and debate, and the 37 practices of a Bodhisattva through text. His Holiness conferred the Avalokiteshvara at the request of Dzongkar Chodre Monastery at the main Tibetan temple. His Holiness the Dalai Lama had a private audience with a group of students from Emory University on Friday last week. His Holiness spoke on how to counteract negative emotions by cultivating compassion, stating that these dominant emotions can be reduced through modern education, science and intelligence, which in turn cultivate compassion.
Destructive emotion, very powerful, but no a proper basis, because it very much sort of related with ignorance, short-sighted, narrow-minded. Other hand, compassion, these things, wider perspective and sufficient reason. So, when we thinking these lines, then there is hope. On this planet, at the moment, anger, jealousy, fear, these dominant emotion. But these can reduce through use of intelligence. The positive emotion can further develop with modern education and modern science.
Sakya Gongma Rinpoche and CTA President Dr. Lobsang Singye inaugurated and presided over the inauguration ceremony of the Tibetan Community Center, Phuntsog Deshe, organized by the Tibetan community of New York and New Jersey on Sunday this week. The inauguration was followed by the blessings of the community center by Sakya Gongpa Rinpoche. Calling it an auspicious occasion, Dr. Singye expressed that the successful completion of the community center demonstrates the potential of Tibetan community when working in unity. He further emphasized on how each Tibetan living in free democracies should take up responsibilities towards the cause of Tibet. The former supreme head of the Sakya Buddhist tradition, Sakya Gongpa Trije Rinpoche, spoke about the significance of Tibetan language and the preservation of Tibetan identity. The ceremony also saw the adjuration and official naming of the street outside the center to Tibet Way. Representative Ngotub Tsering attended the Taiwan International Religious Freedom Forum, which was organized by the Heritage Foundation, China Aid, Presbyterian Church and Taiwan Association for China Human Rights from 30th May to 1st June. The forum was chaired by Dr. Tsai Ing-wen, the President of Taiwan, who stressed the importance of religious freedom and the need to use moral force to protect it. Paying her respect to His Holiness the Dalai Lama and U.S. Ambassador at Large Samuel Brownback, she emphasized Taiwan's commitment to religious freedom for all. Representative Ngotub Tsering provided a presentation on the current situation in Tibet, which particularly emphasized ethnic oppression and religious persecution in Tibet. Representatives from Taiwan Tibetan Welfare Association and Tibetan Youth Congress took part in an event commemorating the 30th anniversary of June 4th Tiananmen Square crackdown in Taipei City of Taiwan on Sunday this week. The commemorative event marking Chinese government's heavy-handed crackdown on thousands of student protesters in 1989 was jointly organized by the China Rebel Movement and the Free Taiwan Democratic Human Rights Group. Chinese liaison officer Tsultrim Gyatso of Office of Tibet also participated in the commemoration of 1989 Tiananmen massacre. Mr. Gyatso introduced the democratic system that exiled Tibetan community is implementing under the leadership of Central Tibetan Administration. He noted that just as many Chinese are observing the commemoration of the 30th anniversary of June 4th, Tibetans also marked the commemoration of the 60th year in exile after the 1959 mass resistance against the Chinese occupation. His Holiness the Dalai Lama hailed Taiwan's robust democracy in which he observed the law protects and defends human rights. In a message to the Taiwan International Religious Freedom Forum held last week in Taiwan, His Holiness said, "Religious freedom is a basic human right. Human rights are something we all share because all of us want to be happy and we are all entitled to be happy. I am happy to observe that in a robust democracy like Taiwan, the law protects and defends human rights." A champion of religious freedom and harmony, His Holiness the Dalai Lama asserted that every individual has the freedom to practice or not practice religion as they see fit. The 25th Gyalum Chenmo Memorial Gold Cup football tournament kicked off in Dharamshala on Friday last week. 23 youth teams from Tibetan settlements and communities across the world are competing in the Silver Jubilee tournament. Secretary of the Tibetan National Sports Association, Pasang Dorji, gave a brief introduction about the Tibetan National Sports Association, marking the 18th year since establishment in the year 2002, whereas it's almost a year since it has come under the Department of Health. Chief guest of the event, Speaker of Tibetan Parliament in Exile, Pema Chungne, admired the Tibetan National Sports Association for its initiatives and the effective management of the game. That's all for this week's edition of Tibet This Week. See you next time and have a great weekend.